Greetings, Earthlings. Planet Mitch from GiveawayRocket.com. I have been freaking busy in the last couple of days. I had a lot to talk about. And if you missed me yesterday, let me know. I didn't manage to go live yesterday because I was busy talking to several different people. And I got a nice chat with Mark from UpViral and got some really interesting ideas from him. They still won't tell me what's coming up. Drive me bonkers, but I do know that those guys are really cranking out some stuff and they are working really hard. I got a question for you. Excuse me. If you're tuning in, I didn't warm up my voice. I should have warmed up my voice. If you're tuning in, they have announced that they are going to be doing an agency version of UpViral. Are you doing contests for clients? If you're here, if you're watching on the replay, please let me know in the comments. Please comment. Because again, you guys know that Facebook will show this to more people if people get active and comment. So that would really help me out to get the word out about what's coming up in the world of contests. Thanks for the thumbs up. There's a thumbs up. Yay! But I really, what I want to do in the longer term, again, my main goal is to teach everybody on the planet how cool contests are and what they can do to grow your business. But at the same time, there's plenty of people that, along the process, aren't going to understand why they're good. And therefore, if you ever had the desire to, once you know how to do the process, be able to do it for a client and get paid to do it, then I want to talk to you. I want to know who out there is doing it already or plans to do it, because this agency version of UpViral is going to be killer in terms of helping you grow your business. And so let me know. If you're not doing that, and if you're just doing contests for your own self, let me know that too. Again, please. No. Commenting does help show this to more people and expose everybody to what's going on in the world of business and growing your list. I have a long list of things to cover today. I was on a podcast yesterday, which is recorded, which is going to come out on March 14th, from Bob. Bob's a fun guy. Bob Clark. He has a podcast called 808. And that's because 808 looks like Bob, which is his first name. And so the entire interview is done in 8 minutes and 8 seconds. So it's kind of like really different than being on a regular podcast where you get to just chit-chat and talk. And you know, this guy can talk if you've paid any attention. Hey, Tony, thanks for popping in. Tony says, I'm going to add this to the broadcast. Yay, I'm interested in an agency, so we should talk, Tony. Yes, for sure. I will talk to you about that in the coming days. Yvonne says, running out for a bit, but look forward to watching this when I get back. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Yvonne. We need to chat about what you're doing in your business. We haven't chatted in quite a while. So let's do that. So I was on the podcast yesterday. So the first thing I want to talk about is, if you didn't see it on Monday, this process is this is already starting to roll and people are starting to get excited about it. And I think it's going to be really fun. But I announced something on Monday that has been percolating in my brain. Again, thanks to Tobin Slavin, who put the seed in my brain. So I've announced this thing called Win Together. And what I'm going to do is, in the mid-March time frame, and it's already, the 6th? I can't believe it's the 6th. like around March 15th, we're going to put together a group of people, and I'm going to teach them some stuff about doing contests. And then around about April 1st, we're going to launch a whole bunch of contests. If we get 5 to 10 people together, and we're going to launch them simultaneously, and we're going to call it Win Together, and everybody is going to try to help promote everybody else that's in the group that's participating. So what we're trying to do is to take the people that are potentially struggling to get their contest going and to expose them to other people, right? So, and it may not be in the same field that you're in, but if we can help promote each other, then I think, it's much like what you do on Facebook. When you do a Facebook share to your people that are following you, if you're in antiques, for example, not everybody that follows you is into antiques, but yet you still post antique stuff, right? So hopefully some of the people are going to be interested in what you post. But if you turn around and post about dogs, maybe that's not a good example because everybody loves dogs, right? Let's suppose you post about running contests. There may be some people that would be interested in that aren't your natural people that have followed you because of antiques. So by exposing people in kind of a buckshot, kind of a gun, try to hit the target with as many little bullets as possible. Tony says it's the 7th already. Yes, I know. Tony's in Australia. Sorry, distraction. But anyway, so Win Together is this program that we're gonna run, and it's not free. A lot of people would like it to be free, but I need to make some money too. So I'm gonna do a heck of a lot of teaching, and we're gonna promote each other, and we're gonna build up our businesses, and then we're gonna do it again in May and June, and we're gonna do it all the time. Because I think what y'all need is a kickstart. You need a kick in the the backside to get yourself moving like I do. I often need to just, like this Win Together thing. It's been brewing in my head for a couple of weeks, and I finally said, look, let's just do it. Let's just put it down on paper, and we're going to make it happen. And so that's what's going on. I didn't have a plan other than a vague idea of how it's going to work. We're going to create a web page to launch everybody's contests. And there's a couple of things that you're going to get if you sign up. And we can talk about that. So let me know if you're semi-interested, and I'll share that information with you. But that's the first thing. The second thing on the list is that I have put together a brand new planning class. And I'm not finished with it. And, excuse me, the people who are in the founders level of the mothership are getting access to this today. But it's about planning. And I've kind of mentioned planning a bazillion times, but the more I talk about it with clients, the more I understand how much planning will change the game for you if you're getting ready to run a contest, which again is what we're going to do in the Win Together program. I still laugh because I was actually watching, so win, let's back up. Win, the 3-letter word win, is what I'm calling my program, part of the mothership, but part of what I'm planning to do is to, this program is Win. So the W is for what, the I is for implementation, and the N is for nurture. So when we put all 3 of those things together, then we have a program for building your business. I was watching Bernie Sanders, and, Bernie's very energetic, but he was talking about working together, and the light bulb went off in my head. I said, well, when I announced this thing on Monday, I was like, why don't I just call it Win Together? Ding! That was the brilliant thing. So the idea just hit me on the fly, so I put it out, and there it goes. But this new planning course that I was talking about before I got distracted yet again is about how to do the planning And I've got the first 14, and that seems kind of crazy, but a lot of them are modules. These are modules, 14 modules. And a lot of them at the beginning of this are talking about the different processes that happen inside a contest or could happen. And so I'm working on that, and the people that are founders of Giveaway Rockets, and those people know who they are. And if you want to get in on that, let me know. That's still open, and I need to close it, but I haven't done that yet either. The third thing, and I'm going to switch over to my desktop because I wanted to show a couple of things, is the Win Contest Master Planning Sheet. And I don't know if that's the right words yet either. And this started as something, let me make sure you can see that. Can you see that? Can you see my desktop? Yes, there it is. All right. I've done this for a long time, and that was try to put together a checklist. And I'm just going to scroll down here as I'm talking because you can see there's a lot of stuff that goes into creating a contest. And so what I have done, hi Bobby, thanks for tuning in and commenting, much appreciated. There's a lot, I've put a lot of content in here, and this thing is going to be so incredibly helpful. And those of you who get in on the Win Together program will get this as part of, I just decided that on the fly, as part of the process, because I need some people to go through this and make sure that we've covered everything. So we'll kind of be going through it as we build our campaigns together. This is going to be something that, I mean, there is so much stuff in here. Let me just pick one, for example, because like the ones that have these double arrows have additional stuff. So there's a description. If you don't know Asana is much like Trello, although it's a different way of looking at things, but it's a good way of doing a task list. So you would check these things off as you accomplish them. So on the right side, when you select something, there is a description, and then you can have these, what they call subtasks. And so, you know, you can find out more information, or if you really go crazy, like if I do a Grand Prize package and I click over here, there can be additional notes over here as well. So this isn't intended to be a tutorial on Asana, but you can see that what I'm doing here is I'm adding a bunch of description for each one of these tasks. So theoretically, if you grab this, it will help you understand the process, and it's kind of like I'm writing a book about the process of doing a giveaway, but it's in this checklist format. And so what you would do is you would clone this every time you do a new campaign and be able to understand the entire process and everything that needs to be done to put something together. Does that make sense? Do y'all understand? I believe, I know, because I've used this, that it's going to be very good for you to be able to go through the process and feel comfortable that you've done as many things as possible. Now, there's not every piece of tidbit/tip that I've ever created going to be in here, but it does have sections that will have things that will make you think about things that you've never thought about. I have some of the founders are going through this process right now. So this entire section up here is where it says getting started is notes for them to understand what I'm looking for feedback. But again, any of this stuff will be usable. Like this one is telling you to duplicate this from the template or to clone it before you start a campaign, because once you start working on it, you know, you've edited it, you've changed it, and maybe you want to change it for your own process. Maybe you've got things that you do that I don't do or that I haven't thought of, but you have to clone it before you start a new project, because otherwise then you lose all of your original stuff, if that makes sense. So Anyway, that's something I've been working on pretty heavily in the last couple of weeks. And that will be coming to you as well as a paid item. I do have plans to try to port this over to Trello. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But that's something that I have in process. If you have any interest in that, and you should, if you're doing any kind of contests, I think this thing is going to be golden. Tony has been through it. Tony's here, or was here earlier. Given me some great feedback and was pretty excited when he saw this. So I think you guys are going to be pretty excited when you get your chance to get your hands on this. All right, let me show one last thing. And you guys, if you're still here, feel free to ask questions. I will try to answer them the best I can. I wanted to do, I saw a contest on Monday, and I've been holding on to this. I think this one's kind of fascinating in that a couple of things. So this is Song Mix 100 blanket giveaway. So they're running it from February 12th to the 14th of March. I thought it was fascinating that right here at the top, they have a winners list. So they are showing the people who won yesterday, which is, if you're doing a contest and have the ability to show off people that have won recently, this gives you lots of trust factor, lots of viability. I guess I'm not coming up with the right word in my head, which happens to me a lot. It's something that right off the bat, people feel really good about what you're doing. Now, the other thing that I found fascinating about this, and I don't know physically or computer technology-wise how they're doing this, but I was like, when I first saw this, I'm like, there's no way that, I mean, it says, find and click all 4 hidden song mics in the picture. Song mix, whatever, how they were going to say that. And when I first saw it, it was rather small, but I'm like, as I roll over this image, my cursor doesn't change. So typically, when I was doing contests and stuff, when I was doing computer programming is what I was trying to say. I knew about maps on images, but typically the cursor would change, and so you would get a visual clue that you could click there, right? There isn't anything that changes with my cursor, but notice if I actually click here, it puts up a checkbox. If I click up here, nothing happens. I think this is fascinating. It's an interesting interactive to be able to get people to actually do something before they're eligible to even enter, right? So if I click on all 4, notice over here it's counting down or counting up. It took me a while to see this one when I first saw it because it's so gray and dark, but there is one there, and then there's one over here, and now I can click to enter. I think that's a fascinating way to add a little bit of mystery, a little bit of some kind of different activity to get people involved in the campaign, which is why I wanted to show it to you. I don't know how to make that happen. Some programmer from the current modern day would have to tell me how to make that happen, but I thought that was a really fascinating way to get people interacting with the campaign before they even get a chance to put their email in. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I thought that was really, really kind of cool. And those are the things that I wanted to share with you today. If you have any questions before I sign out, 20 minutes in, covered at least 4 cool new things today. Just looking at my list, make sure I got them all, yes. If you have any questions, if you want to know more about how to do contests in your business to grow your email list, because your email list is your #1 source for what? Money, that's right. Most people think everything's in Facebook these days, or Facebook Messenger, or Google, or Snapchat or Instagram, and those are all great places to be building your social equity, your social trust. But even though everybody on the planet says emails are dying, the emails are dead, you can't get people to open them. Well, you can. If you work with the people and if you give them value, people will open your emails. For example, there's an email called Entrepreneur HQ. I love what they're doing with their email. It comes out every freaking day. And I look for it because they have taught me stuff. They have shared value with me. And they don't just sell. Every day I look for that email because they provide value. If you're doing that in your business, not everybody's going to open every email. I understand. People are busy. People have difficulty even getting to your inbox. I mean, I've specifically marked Entrepreneur HQ as not spam, and I've put them in my address book so that they show up in my main inbox. They don't show up in promotions over in Gmail. They don't show up in spam. I get to see it every freaking day because they provide value. If you're doing that in your business, then you are going to grow your bottom line. That's what it turns out to be. You got to keep in front of people on a regular basis. Hopefully, you've gotten some kind of good nugget out of this. If you have, comment. Please tell me what you found to be really interesting. Are you interested in the Asana spreadsheet? Sorry, not a spreadsheet, task list. Do you think that would be valuable for you getting started? Are you interested in the Win Together program? Yes? No? Do you think that's really stupid? Go ahead, tell me. I can take it. Be happy to hear your comments, your feedback on what you think I'm doing well. What do you think I'm doing poorly? Obviously, if you think I'm doing poorly, you probably signed out of this a long time ago. If you are here on the replay, hashtag replay, let me know that you've come in and you've watched. That's much appreciated, of course. Why do I ask you to do that? A, it helps me understand how many people come back. And B, it does help get this video in front of more people. Of course, I would love to death for you to share this with somebody whom you think is struggling in their business, who thinks the contests don't work. I can assure you that they do. I had a wonderful conversation with a client yesterday, as a matter of fact, who built a campaign, and he made it as, bless his heart, he made it as difficult as possible without really understanding that he was making it really difficult. And we spent, a good bit of time yesterday trying to tweak things, so that his campaign would show up in front of his users when they came to his website. And I eventually said, look, this isn't working. We've made it way too complicated. Let's simplify the process, throw that whole thing out, and let's just do it right and start from the beginning and create the campaign again, and let's go forwards. And sometimes you just got to trash it and start over. So anyway, let me know what you think. Comments are much appreciated, and I will see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 o'clock Central. That's where I am, in the Central and the Midwest, where it's really freaking cold out. And the snow hit us a couple of days ago, and I am ready for spring. All right. If you have any questions, pop them in. I will get to them in a few minutes. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again tomorrow, and we'll learn something else really cool about contests and how to build your business email list.